Lollapalooza that happened in '92, and that all these seminal bands with you guys headlining. I mean, that was like a real moment in time. Then that time period, and Blood Sugar Sex Magik was such a massive record. Did you guys realize that you kind of had gone to this next level?
I mean, I knew that we were doing good and was making some money and bought a house and stuff. But we had been a band already for almost 10 years,
yeah.
And it were just gigs, man. You know what I mean? Like, and we had been, the thing is, like, everything had been so gradual from the beginning. It's like I look at it like we were doing the same thing the whole time and always trying to get better. And maybe the music as it grew fit the rooms that we were playing, But we started off with clubs, we're touring in a van, sleeping in the van with all the equipment, playing I remember one point 63 shows in 63 cities in 63 days.
God. Like
nonstop, sleep, no, you know what I mean? Just like going, rocking, we were so young. And then it was like, we got a U-Haul trailer. So then we could lay down on a seat in the van, or if there's 2 rows of seats, 2 guys on the floor, 2 guys in the van, and a little room in the back, you could lay down. Huge development, U-Haul trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Then a mobile home, there's a bed in the back. You know what I mean? 3 guys could lay on the fucking bed, or 2 guys, whatever, and there's little couches, you know what I mean? And then from that to the first bus, then we're playing theater, 2,000 seat theaters, and we have a bus with bunks. That was the huge thing. You can sleep. You know what I mean? And then, and then a nice bus, you know what I mean? And then we get built bigger. You know what I mean? It's all this stuff. It's like we had been playing for so long, always advancing slowly, always each tour a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. And it's still like that. It's still the same. Like the last tour we did was our first stadium tour. We played plenty of stadiums, but our first, and people, difference between an arena and a stadium is different. Arena's 20,000, stadium's 70,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you go play stadiums all over the world, like it's still growing. And it's like every step of the way. So when we did that first Lollapalooza, it was just the next logical step, what it felt like at the time. And it felt like another festival. We had been playing festivals like that in Europe forever. They didn't tour, in one place, but we had done all the festivals in Europe. So it was just, it was a cool gig. It was cool. It was fun to be with all the other bands. It was, playing music, and it was cool. Like, we toured with Ice Cube. I loved Ice Cube. At the time, I thought he was the best rapper that ever lived. He had just put out his second album, Death Certificate.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, we're playing with Ice Cube. You know what I mean? And, it was really, really fun.